For the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about some idea of simplicity as to how we have a bias towards simplicity, how that has helped us evolutionarily, and how we try and simplify things that are not so simple. Today, we'll talk about one side effect of this bias towards simplicity as to how simplicity actually distorts our perception of the reality. To be specific, we'll talk about how nostalgia is a form of simplification that your mind does, and how your childhood was not as great as you thought it was. Let's talk about this in today's episode of Perfectly Average. Let me explain what I meant when I said that you didn't have as great of a childhood that you think you had. I've heard this, and I'm sure you might have also heard multiple people saying the same thing like, my life sucks now. I had such a great childhood. I had no responsibility, no accountability. Now all I do is just pay EMIs. And you must be thinking, man, yeah, I had a great childhood. I played a lot. I roamed around. I traveled a lot. I enjoyed my childhood. So, how come all of us think that we have had a great childhood? There surely must be something going on. That something going on is called rosy retrospection. Rosy retrospection is basically your mind compressing memory by a way of simplification. It is basically removing all the unnecessary elements from your memory so that you only remember the important bits. This is exactly what a computer hard drive does, by the way. To explain just a little bit further, rosy retrospection. It is basically based on the phrase that says that you are visualizing the world with a rose tinted glass, right? So it basically means that you're only perceiving things in a glowing fashion, in a biased way, or you only see good things in life. Okay, let's take an example here. Try and remember any memory that you have from a particular standard or a class. Let's say you remember two major events in your 8th class, right? You remember you winning a race in 8th class, and you remember you getting very high marks. Let's say you stood first in 8th, right? Now, for both of those events, you would know a lot of details. You would remember a lot of details. Like you would remember that your uh, teacher appreciated you in front of your parents, and your parents were very proud of you that day. What you don't remember is that in the same year, your dad had bought you a very cool video game that you really liked, but you didn't play that video game for 2 months. But you don't remember that detail because it is not as glorious as being appreciated at a PTM, right? So what your brain has done now is that it has compressed those 2 months into one memory, and that one PTM day also in one memory, because it has just given more importance to that PTM day. So that's basically rosy retrospection for you. It is just basically your mind preferring to remember good memories over bad memories, even though there were equal number of good and bad memories roughly. That's just basically a way of self preservation. It's when you remember a good memory, it gives you a high, it gives you a self confidence boost, it preserves your self esteem, and that's the reason basically why our brain prefers having good memories over bad memories. To explain it a little further, I'll give you an example. So, an experiment was conducted on a group of people wherein their reactions were recorded before, during, and after they went on a vacation. Now, their reactions told that before a vacation, they were more excited than after the vacation, basically justifying the idea that the idea of an holiday is better than the actual holiday itself. But the same people, when asked how their vacation was after a certain amount of time, like a few months, said that they had an amazing time. And that was different than their immediate reaction after vacation. So basically, justifying that we, in hindsight, in retrospect, feel like we had more good memories than bad memories simply because of rosy retrospection. So that's one idea about retrospect that I had. Another idea that is identical to this idea is the idea of the nostalgic effect. Now, the nostalgic effect is basically an idea that says that you are more likely to spend more money on stuff that you feel is memorable or will become memorable in the future. Basically, you are more likely to spend on nostalgia. So, before I explain it any further, let me just explain why nostalgia feels good for at least most of us. Now, nostalgia, what it does is that it makes you feel connected to people or to some distant memory where you had some really good time with something or someone. It makes you more pro social and it reduces loneliness. So, I'll just give you an example to explain what nostalgia effect is. So, you must have seen people clicking pictures here and there of stuff that they should be enjoying, right? Like they go to an event to watch something and they're just clicking pictures of it, taking videos, posting it on social media. That is not because they want to tell everybody that they're there. That's partially true, correct. But one of the fact that it is so prevalent nowadays is that because people feel like when they look back at it in some distant future, they would feel very glad that they were there and they enjoyed that, even though in actual they didn't. So, what they think is that they're making memories where in fact they're not. So, they're basically compromising their present experience for a future nostalgia. Which brings me to my point of how people are actually using this bias towards their advantage and taking advantage of their customers. Now, I've seen, and you must have also seen this, people charging extravagant amounts of money for stuff like photographs and souvenirs. And people are actually paying for it. I've seen several products nowadays being sold that just basically induce nostalgia. From wall art to bobbleheads to paintings to star charts and whatever, right? So, if I want you to take anything away from this, it would be that just don't spend too much time making memories that you forget to live in the present, because memories are not reliable. Thank you for listening. See you in the next one.